4AD, baby. Been hunting this bear all week.
I grunted at him. He come running back in. We just smoked another giant.
Just an absolute giant. Lifetime bull for me.
Team 200 is presented by MoonGuide. Plan your best hunt.
My 2014 season started on a shed hunt. First thing I do is start watching bucks until they start dropping their antlers, and then I get out, start shed hunting, and keeping track of what my up and coming season's gonna be like. It's about March 13th. I'm here in southeastern Minnesota. So today's the day. I've been pretty excited. I know that there's been a couple bucks that I encountered during the season. One buck I've called Razor. He got a big hook coming off his base, and then a big 8-pointer that I was trying to hunt this year. I had some good encounters with. So I know they've dropped, and I'm pretty sure they've dropped in the area because I've been watching them pretty much all winter. Yeah. Finally found my 8. Had a really good encounter with this 8-pointer this year. Summertime was really good for me. I was seeing a lot of nice shooter bucks. I had a buck, I called him the Big 9. I was going around the block a lot, spotting a lot of other nice bucks. 2014 season, that looks like my season's shaping up to be a good one. This Big 9 that I have, I also have a Big 10. I got an 8-pointer that I call Big Red, and then a buck called Razor. So I have 4 different shooters that I know of that are near my property. I do a lot of scouting with spotting scope. I like to watch these bean fields, alfalfa fields around. So I try to go and get inventory of what bucks I want to hunt, which ones I don't want to hunt. I put a lot of Whitetail Institute products in. This year I put some Extreme in. I got some buck oats in I put in late. So usually when I put my food plots in, I always try to critique my food plots for wind direction and where I want to hunt and where I want to sit. Just getting ready. Gonna go out for the setup. Got some really good bucks spotted for early season, so get in there early, get it all set up, got his camera. I'm going to leave out there for about a month. Hope for the best. My 2014 season, I spent a lot of time once a week with my daughter Ashley. The other day I would spend time with my daughter Michaela. And she looked over and she says, "Dad, there's your Big 9. And I looked over and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I hope I shoot him. Oh my God. Oh, he's beautiful. Camera on my phone. Here he comes.
Giant deer on the ground. By far the biggest buck I've ever killed.
And I had his onyx pointed. He didn't pick up anything. Gave me a 30-yard shot.
Thank God I have enough Onyx.
Start seeing more deer more often and closer than you ever thought possible with Ozonics. Ozonics is the only product that actively and continually attacks game spooking odor in the downwind airstream during your entire hunt, allowing you to beat an animal's #1 defense, its nose.
And she looked over and she says, "Dad, there's your Big 9, a Big 9 that I've been after all year."
There's that Big 9-pointer out there that my dad has footage of. Hopefully he comes in my way and I kill him.
It was an incredible night. Yeah, that's okay, honey, that's okay. That happens to the best of us. Everything's kind of cleared the field now, and I just want to let everybody know what we were hunting on was Whitetail Institute's buckoats. And as you can see from the video, they've really been hammering on this.
He finally came in 33 yards, and I don't know what happened. I must have dropped my arm or something.
It was a pretty big thing for her to have a caliber buck like that come in 30 yards and then have it out there in front of us for 45 minutes, and then she ended up missing it. So, I mean, it was a touching moment for me, and that's why I get them out there, is because of them situations right there. So November rolled around. Our rut really kicks in pretty good the first week of November. Crummer came to town to hunt with us Minnesotans, and I invited them to come over to our farm because they really weren't having luck where they were. I said, why don't you guys come over here? I said, I got a good spot. The wind's gonna be perfect for you. I haven't been on that side of the hill yet, and he had some pretty good encounters.
You know, we slid into what we call the North Hill on my brother's place, and we got in there. It was about 10:30 by the time we got all set up, 10:30 in the morning, and deer were running everywhere. Adam had passed a couple really nice young deer that had come through, and in this one gap, we had several encounters with some really good bucks, including this one great big 9-pointer.
That's a pretty good buck, but we've seen a couple really good ones. And Scott was nice enough to let us come down here and hunt his farm. And I'm almost certain that was probably a 3-year-old deer with a ton of potential.
From what I've seen of the footage and that he encountered my big 9, he had actually broken off his G3. So Adam chose to let him go, which I was glad for. I mean, we were gonna let him go after he had busted his tines up. Come November 2nd, it was around November 2nd, we had a particular stand set up on this east bluff. We were actually hunting this, the buck I call Big Red. We went to go get in this stand, and I got to looking around, and I seen there was 11 shotgun shells at the bottom of my tree. Tree sticks are all shot out of the tree. One of my lone wolf stands are shot out of the tree. I'll give one thing, a lone wolf tree stand is mighty tough. Look, we found 11 shotgun shells underneath the tree. It broke a few spots. You can see here where the BBs hit the stand. Broke the bottom of the stand there, but other than that, she held up on the abuse. But we're not too happy. I called the DNR, and they're gonna come and take a look, but it's really not how you wanna find your lone wolf. And when you went to go get in your tree and find it all shot up like that, instead of taking it in my hands, I took it to the law and let them take care of it, and it worked out for my benefit.
Raw Frozen Scents provide 5 unique scent products. Raw Peak Estrus attracts rutting bucks and is guaranteed to contain 30 plus picograms per milliliter of estrogen levels. Raw Multi-Buck Urine combines urine from rutting, dominant, and young bucks to set off a dominance frenzy. Raw Scrape Lure introduces a new buck and a new doe to fire up scrape use. Raw Calming Scent creates calming through the concept of safety in numbers. Raw Body Blast is the first whitetail body scent, the closest thing yet to how a buck recognizes a doe in the wild. Raw Frozen Scents, always fresh, no water or preservatives, and 100% money-back guarantee.
So far, we haven't even got to a tree. It's since
like 1 o'clock, and it's like 4 o'clock now. Somebody came down on the road. I don't know what they're doing down there. And they must have bumped him up out of this bottom. This 10-pointer, we didn't even get him on video. We came within 20 yards, grunting like crazy after this doe. Then about a 140-inch 8-pointer come and stopped at 20 yards and stared right at us. Circled around, and now they're over here chasing does all over. So this has been an exciting day. And we came in just a little bit late, which was probably a good thing because there was already deer in here. Pretty nice 10-point real white rack down. We had him come through about 2 hours ago. He's searching for a doe, and there's one standing right over here. That was a pretty good encounter. That was a pretty nice 8. G3s are a little short, but he had really tall G2s. That was a dandy. He messed around over here in the brush, and then he came right across this hilltop on us. I think I was gonna probably let him go anyway. That was fun. That was fun. That's what this is about, right there. Pictures of that deer. He's a 3-year-old buck. My daughter let him go last year. My other daughter almost had him this year. He needs to die. He's got bad genetics. Just not by me. Winter came around. My season really was a really good year. I had 4 or 5 shooter bucks on my list. Had some really good encounters with these bucks, but I just couldn't quite close the deal on them. Well, it's December 27th. The clock is ticking. We got like 4 days left season. So it's been 2 years since I filled my buck tag. I guess you could say I'm a little choosy, but I'm looking for that trophy of a lifetime, so I got about 4 more days to do it, and I'll have to wait another 9 months to get started again. So stay tuned, this is Team 200. My season's starting to slip away, and if I don't get aggressive, I'm gonna go 2 seasons without shooting a deer.
For over 2 decades, the MoonGuide has been the #1 rated tool for serious hunters, telling you when giant whitetails will move and where you need to hunt. Now, you can accurately predict the best days and times to catch a big buck moving during daylight with the Deer Hunter's MoonGuide. Are you tired of hunting nocturnal trail camera bucks? Do you ever wonder why some bucks only show up during daylight on certain days each year? The Deer Hunter's MoonGuide is here to help, and it's unlike any other lunar tool you've ever seen. For effective preseason scouting, scheduling time off work, planning out-of-state hunts, and increasing your overall hunting success, simply check the MoonGuide's calendar to find the best days, times, and hunting locations to catch a mature deer on his feet during daylight hours. The MoonGuide is now available as a mobile app too, giving you exclusive tips from the pros, local weather, the rut guide, exclusive discounts, and the deadly red moon data. Plan your best hunt at moonguide.com.
It was the last day of the season, December 31st, with 2 hours left, and I said, what the heck? If I don't get aggressive, I'm gonna go 2 seasons without shooting a deer.
Peak activity times for this hunt brought to you by moonguide.com.
watching all these deer. These trails are coming off this hill into this bean field. It's about 35 below zero. And so what we're doing is we come over and made ourselves a ground blind. So when they're coming off the hill, they can't see us from this direction. And then we're down low enough, they won't be able to see us when they go out in the field. We have a west-southwest wind. So anything that comes on this side of us is golden. There's one spot that I was gonna key on for that final last night. And the reason why I picked this spot is I had been sitting across the field and I'd been watching these deer come down, and 90% of the deer were coming down these 3 trails that came out into this bean field. We got set up, we brushed ourselves in, and it wasn't even 20 minutes, and the does started filing down into the bean field. I grabbed my Meopta binoculars, I looked up the hill, and I glanced to my right where all the does had come down, and I said, Eric, shooter buck coming down the hill. I drilled him, man. I drilled him. He's down. Yes! Yes! Last day. December 31st. I just looked at giant. I let that rage go, and when it hit the hair that I was aiming for, I was pumped. Once I shot the deer, I was pretty excited. It had been 2 years since I'd shot a deer, but we always put our expectations really high. I'm just gonna go get him. It's about 35 below zero with the wind chill. Oh yeah. Woo. I am thrilled with this deer. Oh, let me tell you guys something. Man, it has been an up and down year. I can't complain. I've had a lot of good encounters with bucks, but it's the last night. It's a mature deer, and I was ready to take a mature deer out of the herd, but he's got 12, 13-inch G2s, 10, 8, 9 G3s. I can't be happier. A lot of setting for this deer.